Hey people, what's going on? Hope you're well. Welcome to another session here, another episode. I wanted to discuss a little bit about HSBC and the recent news on its closure of over 100 branches across the UK, in-person branches actually. But before I do that, so if you are listening on YouTube, make sure you like, share, subscribe to the channel. And if you are on Anchor, check us out there and leave a review. So, HSBC is looking to close 114 branches in the UK. So branches are normally in-person places where people can physically go into the banking branch of HSBC and speak to customer service staff there and just have a chat and all access, cash machines, deposit checks, that kind of stuff, find out information about services that are on offer, lending, loaning, money, all that kind of stuff. But I think we're seeing a change, a massive change in the way that money is administered and how we're spending money and how we're managing our money. So we'll do a quick reaction to this article. I mean, it's only a short one. So basically, it says here that HSB is looking to close 114 branches in the United Kingdom next year, so from April onwards. And the reason why they're saying is customer numbers have fallen significantly over the last couple of years, particularly due to the pandemic. So I'm guessing there is a lower number of footfall, people physically coming into branches, because nowadays you can use various kinds of different devices to actually access online banking. So you have tokens, security tokens, where you can access your accounts. So business accounts, personal accounts, different accounts that you might have online. You could transfer money, do bank transfers, all that kind of stuff online. So I'm guessing more and more people are shifting online. So if we look a little bit further into this article, it says that in the last few years, a lot of banks or different banking kind of brands have moved towards this trend. And the trend has been to kind of close physical in-person branches. Now it says here, HSBC said it's going to be investing tens of millions into kind of modernizing and basically making better its services in its remaining 300 plus UK branches. And one of the managing directors talked about, again, what I just mentioned about the decrease in footfall and the changing nature of the way people actually use banking and banking services. And, I personally, I do a lot of remote banking myself. Probably you do as well. A lot of business owners, investors and entrepreneurs do, because it does save us a lot of time, rather than having to, walk across or drive down into the city centre and actually go to a bank physically. I mean, sometimes it could be good for particular reasons, but generally speaking, it's quick to send a transfer across to a client, a debtor, and make a transaction, quickly online, using online banking. So this kind of general kind of idea and this change happening now, I mean, we have been seeing it happening over the last several years. And I mean, and also it kind of like coincides with the increase and the popularity of crypto and digital currencies and those type of things, securities. Now, just before we mention that, I mean, I remember when I was a wee bonny lad, so some of you might not understand, basically when I was a young guy, way back in 1996, I remember I was in school, high school, and I remember one day the teacher came into the class. It was a maths teacher, and the maths teacher made a comment saying that we have some representatives or someone from the bank who's here, and if you want to open up an account, we can get that done for you, right? And obviously at that time I was young, didn't really know much about banking or finance or anything like that, but they mentioned one key thing, and the incentive was a football. So whoever opened up a bank account would get a free football. Now, as soon as I heard free football, I said, yeah, I love to get a free football. So basically, back in those days, the bank was called Midland Bank, better known today as HSBC. So HSBC stands for Hong Kong Shanghai Banking Corporation. Some of you may be aware of that. But in those days, it was called the Midland Bank, so I'm not sure if they bought it out or what happened. But anyway, yeah, so I got my free football. I signed up for the free account, and that was my first bank account way back in 1996. Well, just in case you're interested, I didn't really get a chance to play with the football because my brother took it out one day, and I know he managed to basically pop it, so I never really got a chance to play with it, actually. But yeah, so that was the first time I'd set up an account with HSBC. Now, as you can see, modern banking is changing, and the digital currencies now are getting more and more popular. We have had a recent scandal with the FTX and all these crypto kind of currencies. There has been a kind of lowering in some of the value of the crypto. So yeah, like Bitcoin and all these digital currencies, it's changing the nature of the way we do business. And what will happen in the future? I mean, that's anybody's guess, who knows? But I think digital currency is here to stay right now. And there are some benefits in terms of the ease of doing business with digital currencies compared to physical kind of tangible stuff like, paper notes that you might traditionally have been using. But on the other side, there are obviously downsides to that as well in terms of the control of your money and potential cyber security, cyber fraud, that kind of stuff that could, affect your business or just your online bank accounts. I mean, I was watching something recently, maybe a year or two ago, a documentary about how people were purchasing products. I think this was in a Scandinavian country where somebody actually had a chip inserted into their hand, and they were on a train, and the train conductor person came over, and normally someone pays for their ticket or swipes a bank card, but this guy, he actually swiped his hand on the machine, and then he made a noise, and he actually paid for the ticket on the train by his hand because he got some sort of chip inserted into his hand. I mean, I thought to myself, wow, that is pretty much next level. It's like the rise of the machines. I mean, if you watch some of those movies back in the days, So yeah, so the way that currency and financial transactions are happening right now is changing, and you do need to be aware of this in terms of yourself. If you're doing business, how you collect money and these type of things, because it might affect the work that you're doing and your business and the different things that you're selling, whether it's online, in person, whatever it might be. So it's good to be aware of this. So yeah, so thanks for listening today. So yeah, so if you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe, click the notifications bell, and if you're on Anchor, do consider sponsoring the podcast. And yeah, do share. Catch up soon.